It's the scandal shaking the very foundation of love and hip-hop Atlanta, and this time there's no turning back. After 25 long years of ups, downs, cheating scandals, secret children, and public humiliation, Rasheeda has finally reached her breaking point. And what pushed her over the edge? A shocking leaked S3X tape. Not just with any woman, but with Kendra, the wife of young Jock. Yes, you heard that right. Kirk Frost, once again, finds himself at the center of a storm, but this time, Rasheeda isn't staying silent. She's packing up, walking away. And fans are shook. Whispers turned into screams when a private video surfaced online in the early hours of Monday morning. A grainy, poorly lit but unmistakable clip showing Kirk Frost in an intimate encounter with none other than Kendra Robinson. Social media exploded within minutes. Fans flooded Rasheeda's Instagram with crying emojis, broken hearts, and messages like "Queen, you deserve better," and "Girl, leave him." By noon, Rasheeda had deleted every photo of Kirk from her page and posted a cryptic story with just 3 words: "No more lies." What followed was pure chaos. Sources close to the couple say Rasheeda confronted Kirk in a heated argument that left the house in shambles. Clothes thrown, phones shattered, voices echoing down the block. And when Kirk tried to deny it, Rasheeda slapped him hard. According to one witness, it wasn't a little TV slap. This was a 25 years kind of slap. She meant that. But the most jaw-dropping twist. Kendra claims she didn't know the tape existed and she didn't give consent for it to be filmed. She's threatening legal action. And young Jock, he's ready to put hands on somebody. The love and hip-hop cast is divided. Alliances are breaking, and long-buried secrets are coming to light. Was this a one-time mistake? Or a full-blown affair? This isn't just another reality show breakup, this is a full-on explosion. And in the ashes, a woman reclaiming her worth, a family ripped apart, and 2 marriages hanging by a thread. Stay with us, because what happens next will blow your mind. The betrayal runs deeper than anyone imagined and the drama is just getting started. It all started on what seemed like a regular Sunday morning. Rasheeda had just finished filming a new promo for her beauty line and was enjoying a quiet coffee moment in her kitchen. Kirk had left early, claiming he had some urgent studio meetings, a phrase Rasheeda had heard so many times, it barely registered anymore. But that piece shattered when Rasheeda's assistant, Tiana, rushed in, pale and shaking, holding her phone. "You need to see this," she whispered. One tap on the screen, and Rasheeda's world stopped. It was a video low resolution, dim lighting, but clear enough to make her heart drop. There was Kirk, shirtless, on a bed that wasn't theirs, with a woman who after a second along Rasheeda realized was Kendra Robinson, Jock's wife, her friend, her sister in the struggle. Rasheeda's fingers trembled, her breath caught, her mind refused to accept what her eyes saw. "Nah, this has to be old, some deep fake," she muttered. But no, the timestamp was recent. And then, the final gut punch, Kirk looking into the camera, smirking. It wasn't just betrayal, it was mockery. Within minutes, Rasheeda's phone blew up with calls and texts. She ignored them all. The only thing she could hear was her own pulse thundering in her ears. When Kirk finally walked in, whistling like nothing happened, Rasheeda was sitting on the couch with her arms crossed and phone in hand. "What's up, baby?" he asked casually, not even noticing the storm brewing in her eyes. She stood up slowly, walked over, and without a single word slapped him. The kind of slap that echoed through the house, through history, through every single year of betrayal she had swallowed. "Is this what you meant by meetings?" she hissed, shoving the phone in his face. Kirk froze, his mouth opened, then closed. He didn't have the words. Kendra, Kirk. "You out here making amateur porn with Jock's wife?" she screamed, her voice cracking with rage and heartbreak. Kirk stammered, "It's not what it looks like, I swear," but Rasheeda cut him off. "It's exactly what it looks like. It's always what it looks like with you." Tears welled in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "Not yet." Kirk tried to grab her arm, but she yanked it away. "Don't you dare touch me," she snapped. "Not after this." The silence between them grew loud. Kirk, finally realizing the gravity of the situation, said the only thing he could. "We need to talk about this privately. You don't want to make a scene." That's when Rasheeda lost it. "Oh, you worried about scenes now? You weren't worried about scenes when you were smashing your homeboy's wife on camera, were you?" As she stormed upstairs, Kirk chased after her, begging, apologizing, trying every manipulative trick he'd used for 2 decades. But this time, Rasheeda wasn't falling for it. She locked herself in the bedroom, sat on the floor, and finally, let the tears come. 25 years. 25 years of trying to forgive, trying to forget, trying to fix something that was never whole to begin with. The thought of Kendra cut deeper than anything. They had shared dinners, tears, girl talks. Kendra knew what Rasheeda had been through. She had consoled her over Kirk's last affair. And now this. The next day, Rasheeda didn't say a word to anyone, not even her kids. But social media had already exploded. The tape was everywhere. Twitter was ablaze with hashtags, like hashtag RASHEEDA deserves better, and hashtag Kirk AINT shit. Fans were furious, protective, heartbroken for her. Some were even calling for Kendra and Kirk to be removed from the next season of Love and Hip Hop. But the real bombshell came when young Jock went live. The usually fun-loving rapper sat stone-faced, holding his phone, his voice trembling. Don't know what y'all seen, but if what I saw is real, if that's really Kendra and Kirk, we got a problem, he said. Then he looked directly into the camera and added, Kirk, you need to come see me, man to man. And just like that, it wasn't just a cheating scandal, it was a war. A war between families. Between friends. Between history. Rasheeda's mother, Miss Charlene, who had never been Kirk's fan, stormed into the house later, that night, purse swinging. I told you he was a dog. But did you listen? No. Now look. Look at this damn mess, she shouted, slamming the door behind her. Rasheeda could barely speak. She was numb. Miss Charlene hugged her tight, whispering, baby girl, enough is enough. You don't have to keep fighting for someone who keeps stabbing you. Meanwhile, over at Jock and Kendra's house, chaos was unfolding too. Kendra locked herself in the bathroom, refusing to come out. Jock, pacing the living room, kept replaying the tape over and over. What the hell were you thinking? He yelled through the door. Do you even care what this does to us? Kendra finally shouted back. I didn't even know he was recording. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Her voice cracked, but Jock wasn't having it. So it was real. You actually did it. With Kirk, damn Kendra, how you do me like that? As news spread, VH1 producers scrambled to figure out what to do. Ratings were skyrocketing, but the drama had gotten real. Too real. They issued a statement claiming the situation was being handled privately, but everyone knew the cameras were still rolling. They wanted every minute of this breakdown. Back at Rasheeda's house, Kirk was sleeping on the couch, the bedroom door locked. Rasheeda refused to speak to him. But the silence wasn't peace, it was the eye of the storm. Deep inside, Rasheeda was unraveling. She thought about everything she'd given up. Her youth, her dreams, her dignity. For what? For this man who kept dragging her through the same cycle. And now, she was the punchline of the internet again. The strong woman who stood by her man, only to be embarrassed again. She opened her phone and started typing a message to her lawyer. How do we start the separation process? But before she could hit send, a loud bang rattled the house. Kirk, in a drunken rage, had smashed something downstairs. You wanna leave me? You wanna embarrass me in front of the whole damn world, he shouted. Rasheeda rushed down, fear and fury mixing in her chest. Embarrass you? You did that all by yourself, Kirk, she screamed back. Their voices clashed, like thunder. At that moment, Rasheeda realized something. There was no fixing this. Not this time. Not ever again. And just when she thought it couldn't get any worse, her phone lit up again. A DM from a fake account. Just a few words. Kendra wasn't the only one. There were more. Another wave of betrayal. Another crash in her chest. And that's where part 1 ends. With Rasheeda staring at her phone, heart pounding, knowing this was only the beginning of the unraveling. Rasheeda stared at the message like it was a ghost, cold, unwanted, and far too real. Kendra wasn't the only one. Her fingers hovered over the screen, hesitant to open the attached files. What could be worse than what she'd already seen? But her gut told her the answer. Everything. She tapped it. Boom, more videos. Screenshots, time-stamped hotel check-ins. Messages from multiple women, each telling a different chapter of the same sickening book. Kirk Frost had not only betrayed her with Kendra, he'd been running a whole rotation behind her back. One video was with a young stylist Kirk had introduced to Rasheeda just last year. Another God help her was from a barely legal bartender who claimed Kirk promised to help her launch a rap career, and it was all backed with footage. Proof. Cold. Unforgiving. Rasheeda dropped the phone. Her breath caught in her throat. Her knees buckled, and she hit the floor hard. She couldn't scream, couldn't cry. Just silence. A dangerous, deafening silence. Upstairs, Miss Shirlene heard the thud and rushed down, gasping when she saw her daughter on the ground. Baby, what happened? Rasheeda couldn't speak. She just handed her mother the phone. Miss Shirlene scrolled. Her face went from confused, to horrified, to furious. I'm gone, kill that bastard, she muttered. I swear on everything, I'ma beat his cheating ass into next week. As this new betrayal sank in, fans online were already dissecting every frame. The videos were going viral on gossip blogs and YouTube faster than wildfire. Every comment section was flooded. Some fans were crying with Rasheeda, others were enraged. Many were done with Kirk forever. This ain't even cheating anymore. This man is a walking crime scene, one fan tweeted. Another wrote, Rasheeda gave him her entire life and he gave her public humiliation. Even celebrity friends began chiming in. Spice commented, girl, I got your back. Don't go through this alone. Candy Burris posted a heart emoji under one of Rasheeda's cryptic stories. It wasn't just a scandal now, it was a cultural moment. Kirk, meanwhile, had no idea the avalanche was coming. He was nursing a whiskey in the living room, watching old rap videos and pretending everything was under control. He hadn't seen the new messages. He thought Rasheeda would cool off like she always did. But not this time. When she walked down the stairs, face pale but jaw locked, he knew something was different. We need to talk, she said. He looked up, confused. I thought we already did. She held up her phone and tossed it on the table in front of him. Open it, she said coldly. Kirk picked it up, clicked one scroll and his face went white. What the F, he muttered. What is this? Who's sending you this? Rasheeda stepped back. Don't ask me who's sending it, ask yourself who you're sleeping with. Kirk looked up at her, panicked. Baby, this is all lies. People are trying to ruin us. Rasheeda let out a bitter laugh. Lies, you're in the effing videos, Kirk. You looking dead in the camera, like you doing a music video, and you want to talk to me about lies? He lunged forward to grab the phone again, but Rasheeda slapped his hand away. No more. I'm not doing this with you. I stayed for the kids. I stayed for the brand. I stayed because I believed you could change. But now, you've broken everything. And I swear to God, if I stay any longer, you'll break me too. Kirk tried to fake cry, his go-to defense mechanism, but Rasheeda wasn't moved. Save it, you had your tears wiped by strangers while I was home building empires. Miss Shirlene, standing in the kitchen doorway with arms crossed, nodded, in approval. That's my baby. Stand up tall. Don't let no man turn you into a joke. Kirk stood, shaking his head. You just gone, walk away, after all we been through. Rasheeda looked him dead in the eyes. Exactly because of all we been through, I'm walking away. And with that, she turned and walked out the front door. Not into the arms of another man. Not into a dramatic car chase, just into peace. But peace was short-lived. Within hours, new allegations dropped. One of the women from the videos went live on Instagram. Her name was Lyrica, 22-year-old, aspiring singer from Charlottetown. She didn't hold back. Y'all dragging Kirk. But let me tell y'all, he told me he was divorced. He said him and Rasheeda were just business partners, she claimed. We were together for a year. He was helping me with my mixtape, paying my rent, taking me to Miami. I had no idea he was still married. Comments flooded her live. Some fans accused her of clout chasing, others demanded more proof. She showed text messages, receipts, even a plane ticket Kirk allegedly bought for her under his real name. Rasheeda watched the live in stunned silence. Another one, another lie, another humiliation. Back at Jock and Kendra's place, the damage was no less catastrophic. Kendra had finally emerged from the bathroom, but the ice between her and Jock had thickened. Jock refused to look at her. We got cameras coming next week, he muttered. What the hell am I supposed to say to them? Kendra tried to explain. It wasn't ongoing, it was one mistake. One stupid moment. Jock laughed bitterly. You don't accidentally land on somebody's husband, Kendra. This ain't no oops situation. Kendra grabbed his hand. I love you, I made a mistake, but I want to fix this. Jock pulled away. You wanna fix it? Go tell Rasheeda. Go look her in the face and tell her how you stabbed her in the back. Word got out that Rasheeda had officially moved into a hotel. Alone, no kids, no staff. Just her, her laptop, and her shattered pride. But behind the scenes, she was already contacting lawyers, starting the paperwork. She'd been quiet for years, graceful, loyal, but this time, she was done protecting Kirk's image. She was going to speak her truth and take her power back, not just as a wife but as a woman, as a brand, as a mother. And when her Instagram story finally lit up again, fans held their breath. It was a video, Rasheeda, barefaced, sitting on the edge of a hotel bed. To everyone who's been reaching out, I see you, I feel you, and I thank you. I never wanted my private pain to become public drama, but I'm done staying quiet. I gave my heart to someone who never deserved it. And I'm not ashamed to say, I'm walking away. The internet exploded. Celebrities reposted the video. Fans created hashtag movements. Even Beyoncé's stylist left a comment, "It's giving freedom." But even as Rasheeda claimed her power back, the streets were buzzing with rumors that another Love and Hip Hop cast member might have been involved in the betrayal land. It wasn't who anyone expected. Rumors swirled like wildfire across social media, talk shows, and industry gossip pages. As if the Kirk-Kendra scandal wasn't messy enough, a mysterious source from inside the Love and Hip Hop production team leaked a name that nobody saw coming. Karlie Redd, yes Karlie, Rasheeda, longtime frenemy turned part-time peacemaker, turned potential snake in the grass. Whispers claimed that Karlie had not only known about Kirk's secret escapades but had allegedly helped him cover them up. Screenshots began circulating of cryptic texts between Karlie and Kirk, with messages like, "She can't know. Handle that before it leaks. And y'all better hope Jock don't find out too." Fans were quick to connect the dots, and suddenly Karlie's name was trending right next to Kendra's. Rasheeda, upon hearing the news, reportedly sat in stunned silence for nearly an hour. Karlie, she kept repeating to herself. This was the same woman who cried with her on camera, who prayed with her after the last Kirk scandal, who told her, "I got your back always." And now, she was part of the deception. A close source claimed Rasheeda threw her phone across the hotel room and yelled, "I have no one left. No one." The betrayal was layered. It wasn't just her husband. It wasn't just a castmate. It was her circle, her life, and it had all crumbled. Meanwhile, Karlie tried to defend herself in the most Karlie Redd way possible by going live and crying on camera. "Y'all, this ain't true. People trying to paint me like the villain, but I would never do Rasheeda like that." She sobbed, mascara smudged, voice shaking. "I didn't even know about the video until y'all saw it." But fans weren't buying it. The comments were brutal. "You a snake, Karlie. Always been. How you gonna call her sis and stab her in the back? First Jock, now this. Girl, just sit down." But it got worse. Another leaked DM surfaced, this time from a cast assistant who claimed Karlie was the one who first saw the video of Kirk and Kendra weeks ago and told producers not Rasheeda, saying it would make good TV if it dropped mid-season. The betrayal wasn't just personal now, it was strategic. For clout, for drama, for views. Rasheeda's heartbreak had been used as entertainment currency. In the midst of this chaos, the production team tried to step in. Showrunner Mike B allegedly reached out to Rasheeda with a desperate plea. "Please don't walk away from filming. This is your story to tell. Don't let them control the narrative." But Rasheeda wasn't ready. She turned down 3 interview requests and refused to let the cameras film her hotel stay. This time, she wanted control not just over her story, but over her life. Back home, Kirk was spiraling. Alone in the house, drinking more, calling Rasheeda nonstop, leaving voicemail after voicemail. "You're my everything." One message slurred. "IF asterisk, 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 ed up, baby, I know, but don't let these people break us. We stronger than this." But each call went unanswered. And the final straw came when footage surfaced of yet another woman, a woman named Jazz, who posted a selfie in Kirk's car just a month ago. Fans zoomed in, enhanced the background, and matched it to pictures Rasheeda had once posted from their family vehicle. The evidence was everywhere. Kirk Frost was done. And then, just when the dust should have settled, it got messier. Kendra, perhaps in a desperate act of damage control, showed up at Rasheeda's hotel, Luna announced. Security footage showed her waiting in the hallway for over an hour, holding what looked like handwritten letters and flowers. Rasheeda refused to open the door. "Tell her to leave before I call the police," she said coldly to the concierge. It wasn't about drama anymore. It was about boundaries. About healing. But Jock wasn't so quiet. He caught wind of Kendra's hotel stunt and snapped. He took to Instagram, "Live again. If you got time to chase Rasheeda around town, maybe you should have spent more time respecting our marriage, he barked. I don't even know who you are anymore. He then turned the heat on Kirk. And Kirk, if I see you, you better pray there ain't no cameras around. Fans couldn't believe what they were watching. This wasn't just a scandal, it was Shakespearean. Betrayal, revenge, family destruction. And somehow, Rasheeda stood at the center of it all, torn between rebuilding or burning it all down. But even amid the heartbreak, something began to change. Support poured in, not just from fans, but from unexpected places. Cardi B tweeted, "Rasheeda been classy too long. Drag that man." Tamar Braxton offered her a spa retreat. Even Oprah's team reached out about a private interview. The world wasn't laughing at Rasheeda anymore. They were listening, rooting for her. Watching a woman rise from the ashes. Inside her hotel room, Rasheeda began to write. Not texts, not press statements, but a book. A tell-all memoir titled Loyal to a Lie. It would document the years she gave to a man who never deserved her love and how she finally learned to love herself more. And while Rasheeda quietly planned her next chapter, Kirk was hit with a lawsuit. One of the women from the leaked tapes claimed he had recorded her. Without consent, a serious allegation with potential legal consequences. Kirk's apology tour came to a screeching halt. Lawyers got involved. The Frost Empire was crumbling from every side. By the end of the week, Rasheeda had filed official separation papers, and when the news broke, it wasn't just a headline, it was a movement. Women across social media shared their own stories of leaving toxic partners, using hashtags like #MyRasheeda moment and #WalkingAwayWins. It wasn't about Kirk anymore, it was about freedom. But as Rasheeda stood tall, focused on healing and reclaiming her voice, producers began hinting that there was still one final bombshell no one knew about, something that could change everything again. ChatGPT said. And it came not from a blog, not from a cast member, not even from Kirk himself, but from Rasheeda's own son. The moment hit the internet like an atomic bomb. A now viral Instagram live from Kai Frost, usually quiet, reserved, and removed from his parents' drum, unexpectedly went public late Friday night. Sitting in his room, visibly emotional, Kai looked into the camera and said, "I can't stay quiet no more. Y'all wanna know the truth? Y'all think this just about cheating? It's deeper than that. Way deeper." Viewers poured into the live as Kai began unraveling layers no one expected. "My mom been holding everything down for years. Not just the store. Not just our home, she been protecting my dad. She ain't say nothing when he left us for weeks at a time, when he took money from her business, when he used her credit cards to fly women out. Yeah, I saw the receipts. I saw the texts." Kai's voice cracked, and in that moment, fans realized this wasn't just about a woman betrayed. This was about a family destroyed. "I told her to leave him when I was 15, Kai continued. "I begged her. And she always said, 'It's more complicated than that.' Nah, it's really not. You either love someone enough to treat them right, or you don't." Thousands watched, some crying, some cheering him on. The comments exploded with support. Kai speaking truth. Protect this young king at all costs. He's breaking generational trauma. Live. Then came the final blow. And to all them people out there trying to say this is for TV, nah, this ain't no storyline. This is our real life. Our pain. My mom deserved better. And I'm proud she's finally doing what's right for herself." As the live ended, the internet erupted. It wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a cultural reckoning. Inside her hotel room, Rasheeda watched her son's video in stunned silence. She hadn't known he was going to speak. Hadn't asked him to defend her. But as tears slid down her face, she whispered to herself, "That's my baby, and he sees me." It was a moment of healing she didn't expect. For years, she had tried to shield her kids from the darkest parts of her marriage, but Kai had seen it all, and now, he was standing up not just for her, but for truth. Meanwhile, Kirk was spiraling into full desperation mode. When he saw Kai's video, he reportedly threw his phone across the room and screamed. He don't know what he's talking about. But no one was listening to him anymore. Not the fans. Not Rasheeda. Not even his own children. In a last-ditch attempt to save face, Kirk reached out to the blogs trying to offer an exclusive interview to tell his side. But none of the major outlets bit. They didn't want redemption. They wanted Rasheeda. In the background, Kendra was still unraveling. After getting publicly dragged by Jock, abandoned by friends, and ridiculed online. She finally issued a formal apology directed only to Rasheeda. In a statement posted to her Instagram, she wrote, "I failed as a friend and as a woman. I don't expect forgiveness, but I owe Rasheeda the deepest apology of my life. I let temptation destroy a sisterhood, and I have to live with that shame forever." But Rasheeda didn't respond. She didn't like the post. She didn't comment. She didn't repost, because her silence said everything. And just when the storm looked like it might settle in, other thunderclap hit. TMZ dropped exclusive footage from the Loved and Hip Hop reunion taping filmed just days before the scandal broke. In the clip, Kirk is seen talking to producers during a break, whispering, "I got something juicy for y'all, mid-season. Just trust me." The implication? Kirk knew what was coming. He orchestrated the leak. Fans were sick, so this man sold out his marriage again for a storyline. One tweet read. Another wrote, "Kirk Frost is the villain of the decade." Number. The ashes, Kirk's world continued to rot. Court records leaked showing pending lawsuits from two of the women in the sex tapes, one suing for revenge porn, the other for unpaid financial promises. And then, as if that wasn't enough, former business partners began coming forward with claims that Kirk mismanaged funds from Frostbeast's draw allegedly without Rasheeda's knowledge. According to one vendor, she was the face. He was the mess. She didn't even know half the shady deals being made under her name. With everything collapsing, Kirk attempted one final Hail Mary. He posted a video, sitting in his car, eyes red, voice shaking. "To my family, my kids, and Rasheeda. I messed up. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I need y'all to know I never stopped loving you. I was weak. I was stupid. I lost the only person who ever truly cared about me." He paused, swallowing hard. "I'm sorry, but the comments were brutal. Too late. Should have thought of that before, Kendra. Keep the tears." We saw the tapes. Rasheeda didn't respond to the video. Not publicly. Not privately. She had finally reached that stage of peace, where not every hurt needs a clapback. Her silence said everything. She was done. And then came the reunion episode. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had never seen numbers like this. The preview alone amassed over 10 million views in 24 hours. Fans were salivating, producers scrambling to edit the footage to perfection, and when it aired, viewers were stunned. Because for the first time in the show's history, Rasheeda didn't show up to sit on that famous couch. She submitted her own pre-recorded segment, one that broke the internet. In a soft-lit studio, dressed in a flowing crimson gown, Rasheeda looked straight into the camera. "I won't let this show turn my real pain into entertainment," she began. "This isn't a storyline. This is my life. A life I gave 25 years to, thinking loyalty would save it, but loyalty without honesty, that's just self-destruction." Her voice didn't shake. Her face didn't crack. "To Kirk I wish you peace. But not with me. To Kendra I pray you find your worth. To my children I hope I showed you what strength looks like, and to every woman watching, don't wait for someone else to choose you. Choose yourself." The screen faded to black. Silence, then applause. The studio audience clapped, and even some of the cast members wiped away tears. For once, everyone was on Rasheeda's side. Kirk didn't speak during the reunion. He looked hollow, disconnected, like a man facing a ghost. Kendra cried, but no one comforted her. Jock shook his head and muttered, "It didn't have to be this way." Carly Red, notably, wasn't even invited. After the reunion aired, it was clear, Rasheeda was no longer just a reality star. She was a symbol. And as offers poured in, book deals, speaking engagements, national interviews, she moved quietly, gracefully. No stunts. No scandal chasing. Just growth. One of the final scenes of the season showed her walking alone down a quiet Atlanta street. At sunset, a voiceover played. "Sometimes, walking away isn't weakness, it's rebirth." And then the screen faded, leaving fans in tears. Kirk Frost became a cautionary tale. Rasheeda became a legend. And as her next chapter began, there was one thing fans knew for sure. She would never look back again. So there you have it, the fall of Kirk Frost, the rebirth of Rasheeda, and a drama that shook not only the Love and Hip Hop franchise but the very internet itself. From leaked sex tapes to betrayal by so-called friends, to her own son breaking the silence, Rasheeda endured a storm most people wouldn't survive on. She walked out of it not as a victim, but as a victor. For 25 years, she stood by a man who continuously humiliated her. But in the end, She chose something far more powerful than loyalty to a lie. She chose herself. Now the world watches as Rasheeda writes her next chapter on her terms, without apologies, without lies, and without the weight of Kirk Frost on her back. Her message is loud and clear. You can love someone deeply, but you have to love yourself more. And in walking away, she didn't just save herself, she became a beacon of hope for millions of women watching silently from behind the screen, waiting for a sign to reclaim their own power. But we want to hear from you. Do you think Rasheeda should have left years ago? Can Kirk ever truly come back from this? And what do you think about Kendra and Carly's involvement? Were they snakes from the beginning, or just caught in the crossfire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. Make sure to like this video if you believe in Rasheeda's strength. Hit that subscribe button if you want more explosive updates from the world of reality TV, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a scandal again. Because trust us, this story might be over, but in the world of entertainment, the drama never really ends. We'll be watching, and so will you.